I the asshole for ruining my niece's birth over a name? I, 29 female, was pregnant with twins a few years ago. Unfortunately, only one baby survived, a little boy who we called Henry, and my daughter who passed, we called her Daphne. My sister and I were close growing up, but we drifted apart. There was a rivalry on her part after I met my partner. For example, she hated that we got engaged before her. She has been with her partner for 3+ more years, and she threw a fit saying she wouldn't attend our wedding unless she was engaged too. So they got engaged, and threw an engagement party the night before my wedding. When I announced my pregnancy, she wasn't happy, as I'd done another thing before her, but when my daughter died, she seemed to be a lot nicer. Because of this change, we made her Henry's godparent. She became pregnant recently and refused to announce the name until a few days after birth. The baby girl was called Theodora, which is beautiful. I was bringing presents to her and I saw my dad building a huge toy box with the name Daphne on it. When I questioned this, I was told the baby is going to be called Daphne and only Theodora on paper. No one will use her full name, only her nickname. All of my family knew and supported her. I got upset and started shouting, asking if this was a cruel prank. She came out and told me to
I the asshole for telling my wife it's embarrassing she gave our daughter's bus driver cookies? My wife is very shy, but she enjoys giving. She's all gung-ho about showing appreciation to workers she assumes aren't appreciated or recognized. She also tries to pass these beliefs on to our kids. Because she's too silent to show her appreciation, she does it through gifts, usually in the form of baked goods. I must admit I've been embarrassed about it in the past. Our oldest rode the school bus for the first time, and my wife was waiting at the stop with our daughter. She then had our daughter hand the bus driver a bag of homemade cookies. Then, when she picked her up from the stop in the afternoon, she gave a bag to the afternoon driver. Am I the asshole for refusing to eat knowing my mother-in-law will not eat if I don't and causing her to faint? We currently live with my husband's mom and she does a lot for us. I truly appreciate that because we got ourselves into a financial rut. Mother-in-law is a hardcore perfectionist who always has to be the best at everything to the point where it's completely toxic. She was taught growing up to never eat if someone else isn't, and as a teen that spiraled into never being the only woman eating. It was ingrained in her by her very overweight mother to never let anyone think she was a pig. Not surprisingly, mother-in-law and her sister both have serious issues with food. This is insane, obviously, but she's also an ER doctor who doesn't work normal hours, so this makes it even worse. And recently, the hours have been crazy.
I was a baby. I have a twin brother, Mark, and even though I came into the world 5 minutes after he did, I was always miles ahead of him. By the time he'd learned to roll over, I was crawling everywhere. He was just making spit bubbles when I spoke my first words. But for some reason, Mom and Dad were so proud of everything he did, and I just seemed to get on their nerves. Once, when we were playing with our toys, Mark picked up a mini train excitedly.
Look, Dada, it's a choo-choo.
It's not a choo-choo, Mark. It's a train. Oh, be quiet. He's so cute when he talks like that. I don't know why you speak like an annoying teenager already. On our 4th birthday, I only got stupid dolls, while my brother got a super cool toy airplane. He just ripped the box open and started pushing the buttons like a maniac. I picked up the manual and read the instructions. I felt fascinated by how it worked.
Here, Mark, let me give it a try.
No, you leave it to the boys. Even my dad couldn't. I was a baby.
Funny things kids have told me at work. Guess what? I have 3 boyfriends, and they don't even know I'm dating other people. She was 7. Are not doing her job right, it kicks me in the face. I can do this by myself. I know more than you are stupid. Falls on head and neck. Kid is about to spit water on me. Me, please don't spit or water out, girly. Kid spits water out in my face. Me, ask if someone needs to use the bathroom. Kid says no. Kid continues to pee on the floor. Why does your hair look so messy? Me wearing a bun. Me talking to a parent about their child. Kid takes pics of me.
Story time about how I set up my boyfriend to cheat on me so that I could break up with him. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I'm at the airport, so I'm sorry if it's noisy. My boyfriend and I have been together for way too long. When our relationship first started, I was constantly chasing him. He never wanted a relationship and basically didn't want to commit to me. So basically, he was trying to be an F-boy while he was with me. And of course, I let him do whatever he wanted because I was too afraid to lose him. I didn't want to be that annoying, nagging girlfriend, so I just never said anything to him. Fast forward 5 years. I've had a huge glow up since we started dating. I lost weight, I got super fit at the gym. Like, I have abs now. I opened up my own nail salon, and I even got myself a car and a house. Well, let's just say that he stayed the same. In fact, he has no ambitions to getting a better job or anything, and it really annoys me. He started talking about getting married, and I was like, hell nah. But I don't know how to tell him that I don't want to be with him anymore. I mean, I love him, but I just don't want to be with him anymore. And because I'm too much of a coward to actually break up with him, I set him up to cheat on me. Found this girl on Instagram, and I told her to DM my boyfriend. He DM'd her.
If you ever feel lonely, don't do what he did. Skylar was living in an old house in the countryside with his parents when he found a mirror in the closet. But when he looked into the mirror, he saw a girl standing behind him. She said her name was Nana and you can only see her through the mirror. One day Nana said, come over here and play with me. And Skylar promised he would, but he never did. He graduated, moved out, and got married. But one day, years later, something changed. As fate would have it, Skylar came back to the house. And as an adult, Skylar convinced himself that Nana was just his imaginary friend, but he was wrong. Him and his pregnant wife went to his parents' house for a visit and decided to look at some of his old stuff. That's when Skylar found the mirror again. Instantly, he remembered Nana, and through the mirror in the very back, a dark shadow began to form the face of Nana. She began walking towards Skylar through the mirror and said, why didn't you come back? I've been waiting for you. Skylar didn't know what to say. He was shocked. Then Nana said, come over here, let's play forever. Skylar said, no, I have a wife now and a baby soon. I can't. Nana looked upset. She paused for a while before saying, I see, you're all grown up now. If you don't want to play with me, I'll have to find someone else.
So I used to know this girl who would constantly say things like, guys, sorry, I'm so ugly. I just ruined the whole group photo, I'm sorry. And then everyone would automatically comfort her and be like, no, you're beautiful, you shine. And then she would be like, no, but thank you. And she would do the same thing over and over again, trying to get everyone's attention. So eventually I got tired. So the next time she came to me saying, I'm so ugly, I was like, you know what? You are. She was like, what'd you say? And I was like, bitch, if you think you're ugly, I can crop you out of the photo. The fuck do you want me to tell you? I'm not the one who made you look like a wolf.
I'm the asshole for not paying for my ex's surgery. My first boyfriend and I broke up almost 10 years ago, but we still kept in touch. I was even his best man at his wedding. So for a little background info, my ex was injured severely while we were dating, leaving him with metal plates holding his skull together and one massive scar. None of this stopped me from liking him, and we only broke up because I was moving away from my career. And a couple months later, I came out as lesbian. But we patched things up later on. As I'm coming home this year to visit my family, he's getting his plates out, which is a massive milestone. The surgery was about $20,000. While he married young, I can't say I approve completely of his choice of spouse. His wife, let's call her Tammy, used to go to school with me. She comes from a well-off family, but as I learned recently, she's given a quota of her family's money and told them that was it. Well, Tammy gambled it away and won't get a job either, leaving my ex as the only breadwinner, even though he's only a junior officer and doesn't earn that much. Then my ex asked me to pay for his surgery because I'm well off. People tend to think I have money to spare when I don't. I refused to pay, telling him he should ask Tammy's family. He said they did not want to. Then he also told me that Tammy is pregnant. Then he called me a homewrecker because he can't pay. His family says I'm the I'm an asshole for falling in love with my best friend and not telling her. My current best friend Audrey has never claimed to be homophobic or transphobic, but still makes rude remarks and jokes about the LGBTQ plus community. I am out as a proud bisexual and I have been for almost a year now. And she has always been accepting of me, but when it comes to other people, Audrey can be very judgy. Her and I always talk about how weird it would be for me to like any of our close girlfriends, and how I can never see myself with any of them. But recently I've started to grow feelings for Audrey. Her and I are very close. We hold hands, we're very touchy, and we kiss every once in a while in a joking way. But I've noticed recently that it's felt different. Audrey has said things in the past that she can never be with a girl. If I grew feelings for her, she'd want to know immediately so we could deal with it. But I don't know what that means. I don't want her to drop me for my feelings, but every part of me wants to be with her in more than just a friend way. Should I just say fuck it and tell her, or do I hide it? Please give your advice.
A little less than a month ago, I decided to house sit for a family member and her boyfriend for a week while they went to see their parents. I knew I wasn't getting paid for taking care of the house and feeding their pets, but that was okay because I live with my parents and a week away sounded like a dream come true. House sitting went fine and I pretty much forgotten about it until today. The family member sent me a PayPal request with no explanation. She requested $184 and I immediately called her to ask her why she was doing this. She stated it was for my share of the bills for when I stayed at their house. I told her I took a week off of work to care for her house free of charge. She said that I still had to pay utilities. I told her to go fuck herself and hung up. Ever since, she's been messaging me saying she's going to call the police and tell everyone on Facebook about what a horrible piece of shit I am. I haven't responded to any of these messages and don't plan to. But am I missing something?
This is why you should never date multiple people at once. A story time, I guess. This story takes place when I was 17 or 16. Okay, no one cares. It was a long time ago. And girl, back in the day, I was getting played left, right, and center. Played like a game of football. I had a distinct taste for F-boys. And that was going on for some time until your girl said enough. Enough of this buffoonery. I'm not getting played by men any longer. And I am going to become a player myself. I know the logic is really off. But I was 17, so cut me some slack, okay? So my brilliant idea was, I'm just gonna talk to multiple guys. And I will figure out which one I like in the end. And I'm gonna date that one. Now in my mind, the plan was flawless. And they do always say, don't put your eggs in one basket. So I end up meeting a couple of guys. I really like this one guy. But I decide I'm keeping my options open. Already posted part 2, so go watch it.